The stars had always whispered to humanity. For 2 centuries, mankind listened and answered. They spread beyond Earth, planting fragile settlements on distant worlds. They bent space itself and unlocked faster-than-light travel. In a blink of cosmic history, humanity stepped into the galaxy as an interstellar civilization. But in the year 2347, they were still young. Humanity governed just 37 colony worlds, respectable by human standards, laughably insignificant by the galaxies. Ancient empires ruled hundreds, some thousands, of star systems. One dominion alone had reigned for nearly 10,000 years, controlling more than 4,000 systems. To them, humanity barely existed. Then the ships appeared. Massive alien war vessels began drifting near human colonies along the Orion Spur. They never hailed, never threatened, never attacked. They simply arrived, scanned entire worlds, and departed, hunters studying prey. On Earth, the United Stellar Council descended into panic. Militarized now, some argued. Evacuate and flee deeper into space, others demanded. The debates dragged on until one voice cut through the chaos. Ambassador Maria Calder. She was humanity's finest diplomat, a woman who had ended colonial wars with words instead of weapons. She believed, fiercely, that no intelligent species was beyond reason. And when the council hesitated, she volunteered to lead a diplomatic mission directly into the alien empire's heart. Many praised her courage. Others called it suicide. Maria understood the risk. But she understood something else, too. A war with an empire that old would erase humanity from history. Peace was not idealism. It was survival. Her ship, the Concorde, carried no weapons. That was intentional. It was a message. Humanity came in peace. 3 weeks later, the Concorde arrived at the alien capital world, a colossal planet smothered in endless megacities, billions of reptilian conquerors ruling over millions of enslaved species. Against all expectation, landing permission was granted. More shocking still, Maria was invited to stand before the High Sovereign himself. She believed it was hope. The imperial citadel rose like a jagged mountain of black stone and steel. The throne chamber was built to break confidence, skulls of defeated species lining its walls, the air heavy with the memory of extinction. Maria did not flinch. She bowed, not in submission but in respect, and spoke. She offered cooperation. Trade, knowledge. A future where 2 civilizations shaped the galaxy together instead of destroying one another. When she finished, the chamber was silent. Then the sovereign laughed. It was the laughter of a predator amused by a mouse that thought itself a rival. His generals joined in. Maria stood motionless, refusing to retreat. The sovereign finally spoke. "You are an infestation," he said. "You cling to a few worthless stars and dare speak of equality. Your worlds will belong to us. Your people will kneel or vanish." He raised a clawed hand. "End them." The guards moved. Maria's team was slaughtered where they stood. Scientists, linguists, civilians. 42 humans executed for the crime of asking for peace. Maria remained standing until the end. As the blade was raised, she activated her personal relay, broadcasting her final words across human space. "Do not forget who we are." The blade fell. Humanity watched their ambassador die, and something changed. It was not fear, it was not despair, it was fury, cold. Measured, absolute. Within days, human space went silent. Trade vanished. Communication channels died. Fleets disappeared from public censors. The galaxy assumed humanity had broken. That surrender was coming. They were wrong. Deep beneath Earth's surface, humanity gathered. Leaders, generals, scientists, colonists. Every one of them had seen Maria die. Admiral Jonah Hale stood before them, his voice steady despite the grief that carved his face. His son had been among the dead. "We can kneel," he said, "or we can fight." They all knew the odds, 37 worlds versus thousands, a navy dwarfed beyond reason. Then Hale reminded them where humanity was born, not on a paradise, but on a death world, a planet of predators, ice ages, plagues, and extinction-level disasters. Humanity had survived everything that tried to erase it. War, disease, hunger. It had mastered its world and restrained itself, knowing what it could become. The Empire had mistaken restraint for weakness. That night, humanity chose war. For months, the galaxy heard nothing. But beneath the silence, humanity transformed itself. Factories became forges. Universities became weapons labs. Forbidden technologies were unleashed. Short-range spatial jump drives. Space-time shear weapons. Hulls that healed themselves in battle. But the most dangerous weapon was not technology. It was humans. Millions volunteered. Only the most relentless were chosen. They trained in vacuum, infernos, crushing gravity, endless exhaustion. They learned to fight with anything, anywhere, until pain meant nothing. At the same time, human intelligence slipped into enemy territory like ghosts. They mapped shipyards, supply lines, leadership. And they whispered to the enslaved. When the moment comes, they promised, rise. The first strike was silent. A planetary governor awoke to find a human standing beside his bed. He died without a sound. A metal disc was left behind, Maria Calder's face etched into steel. Across the Empire, leaders vanished. Admirals poisoned. Shipyards erased in fire. Fear spread where certainty had ruled for 10 millennia. The Empire had never faced an enemy like this. Then, after months of bleeding in the dark, humanity revealed itself. 3,000 warships emerged from nothing, across 17 systems at once. They didn't advance. They vanished, then reappeared inside defensive lines. The Empire's greatest strongholds fell in minutes. Flagships were torn apart by weapons that twisted space itself. Human soldiers boarded alien vessels and fought in conditions meant to kill them, and kept coming. They did not retreat. They did not surrender. They fought until victory or death. Behind them, the enslaved rose. Chains broke across 100 worlds. Species crushed for centuries reclaimed their freedom with human weapons in their hands. The ancient empire collapsed under the weight of its own cruelty. 3 months later, humanity stood over the enemy capital. The final ruler was captured, not executed. Instead, humanity did something the galaxy had never seen. They put him on trial. Before the entire galaxy, witnesses spoke. Species after species testified to genocide, slavery, extinction. The broadcast of Maria's execution played again unavoidable, undeniable. The verdict was unanimous, guilty. The execution took place on the same steps where Maria had died. But the firing line was not human. It was composed of every species the Empire had enslaved. The Empire ended there. Humanity claimed no territory, only the capital system, turned into a memorial. A statue of Maria Calder stood at its heart, her hand extended in peace. The inscription read, "We came in peace. We answered with justice." A century later, an alien envoy asked a human historian why they hadn't taken everything. The historian smiled. "Because that was never the point," she said. "We fought so it would never happen again." She looked up at the stars. Humanity will always offer peace first, but if that hand is bitten, we respond. And the galaxy remembered the lesson, never mistake kindness for weakness.